Hey everyone, it's another grid tangle. Kathy. It appears that there are two variations to this one. It can either end up like this or like this. This is the original one, and this is variation number 2. I haven't quite decided how I want to do it yet, but yeah, we'll think about it. This is patterned by Leila Holter. Yeah, she's got all sorts of wonderful patterns out there. I'm going to go ahead and draw myself a quickie little grid here. I want to make it kind of big so that I don't have a lot of fiddly bits with this one. So I'm going to just do 4 lines. I'm going to do like that. Okay, something like that. That's close. I can make my grid. I always start out with pencil, and then I adjust my pen as I need to. Just because I have a really hard time gauging width and distance on a grid. So actually I think I didn't do that right. I think I'm going to do it this way. I do it in half and about in half again, and then same this way. I'm going to kind of do it in half and then about half again. That's not too bad. That's better than some that I've drawn. So that's good. And then you start, each square is going to be done in half, and then with a box like that inside each of these squares. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick before I decide whether I'm going to do version 1 or version 2. It looks like they all start with the either version starts with it like this. One version you draw the petals on the inside, and one version you draw the petals on the outside. So I'm just going to start by drawing this part here. This is a nice repetitive pattern to draw. Don't forget to breathe when you're drawing. Remember not to clutch your pen tight. That it doesn't do you any good. You're not going to draw any better. Matter of fact, you'll draw worse by hanging onto your pen in a death grip. You want to be able to be relaxed while you're drawing. So how many squares am I doing here? $16, right? I can do this. It's not that many. I could have drawn the whole grid again, you know, made it small, but I like to do, when I do these ones, to go ahead and divide each square separately one by one. I could have taken this line and gone all the way down. But if I do them separately one by one, each square, I can see it better for the pattern because each one of these lines is a little imperfect. So I'm perfectly imperfect here. And I can tell where my squares are. So there's the basic starting point of this. Trying to decide if I like the petals on the inside or the outside. That's just the crux of it, isn't it? Oh, well, that's interesting. I just noticed something on the sample. On the sample, on variation number 2, when you get to here, these have the petals kind of in the corner. And then when you get to this, which kind of shows the finished product, the petals are not in the corner. They are actually going the other way. Huh. I think I like them this way better. Okay, I'm going to draw it like that. That's going to be that's my inspiration right there. Oops, I'm a little off page. That's the one I'm going to aspire to. So I'm going to draw my petals going here. Yeah. So in each square, this is going toward the middle. And here, I'm going to do a sort of a teardrop shaped petal, and then one going this way and one going this way on each one of those. Teardrop to the middle, one going this way and one going this way. Teardrop toward the middle, one this way and one this way. Teardrop to the middle, one this way and one this way. Okay, so I'm going to do that on every square and just continue through that way. I like to do each step, the same step repetitively instead of finishing one whole square. So I'm going to do that like that. Petal. 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 Okay. Cross and petals. Cross and petals. So how's your guys' week been going? Well, I hope. Had a bit of a cold last week, so every so often I'm getting a little congested yet. But This week is better. Let's see. Even with starting with pretty big squares, this is a fairly intricate pattern with doesn't really have that many steps. Most patterns don't. But they do, especially the ones where you mirror the step around, they can get really, they look really super complicated because there's just so much of it. Even in a small tile, there's a lot going on here. This is definitely not one of those patterns I would use on one of my bigger drawings, just because it would be way too much to try to do in a large area. It'd probably drive me crazy. Okay, halfway there. You know, I should have done the other ones the other way, the other half. Wonder if I can fix that. Sure I can. Sort of. Okay. The other one, I'm going to do half of it going one way, half of it going the other. So the other way actually has it going this way, that, and the petals are going this way. I'll try to incorporate that. Petals are going on the inside instead of the outside, like that. All right. So on the outside has these little ones, and then the petals go this way instead. To the middle and around and around. They still take the same amount of time to draw. They're just drawn on the other side. It's just mirrored. But if I do some going one way and some going the other, then you can see the difference as to which one you like better when they're together. Or you may choose to just make one square with one of the pattern in it. That would be okay too. I do that a lot on some of mine where it's a grid pattern. I just make one big one and then go around it with other things. That works. Outside and toward the middle. Toward the middle. This one is taking a little bit more concentration. So when you can get into the repetitions of it, you do have to pay attention to what you're doing more than some others. Once I've decided which direction this is going, it's not so bad. It's not like some that are cause me grief with my hand. And I don't seem to be having troubles drawing the petals either direction, whether they're going this way or sideways or up and down this way or sideways going the other way. I don't seem to be having troubles with it, so I'm not turning my tile. But if you need to turn your tile, please do so. You know, don't make yourself go crazy. This goes that way. I'm getting there. Almost. Oops. I almost did that one backwards. Just remember where you have to start from. Okay, one more. This one, this one, this one, this one. Okay, so it goes this way, that way, this way, this way, that way, and this way, this way, that way. Okay, so I've done some going that way, some going this way. Next step is a swirly bit. There's the step out. It shows the swirly bit on our second one is on the outside there. On the first one is here, and it's only on every other one. So just start and then make it the same every time you do it. Same thing with up here. It's every other one. So that's the next step. And the swirly goes, it shows it attaching to here. So I go around like that. Boy, that's really kind of hard to see. Maybe I'll zoom in a little bit. Can you guys, if I zoom in, is that going to cause an issue? I'm just going to have to pay more attention to where my hand is, and so I don't keep everything in the viewfinder here. So swirly, and like that. Swirly, swirly, like that. Okay, every other one, right? And then do them the same. Oops, off the page. Uh-oh, and I'm running out of battery. Okay, so let me take a little pause, change batteries, and I will be back. Okay, I'm back. I had to change batteries. Now I've got to adjust the camera again. Okay. I think we're good. Let's see, swirlies. Swirly, swirly, swirly. And one more. Okay. So then the pattern that goes the other way, the swirlies need to be on the outside and still going just every other one. So I'm just going to do the same thing. Swirly. 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 Swirly, like that. Those are kind of a funky shape. I may have to turn my page for those ones, which is possible. So let me do this again, and let me turn my page and see if I can make them. Ooh, I lose track. Okay, I'm not liking turning the page. My swirly is better, but I'm having a harder time keeping track of where I'm supposed to go next. So I don't think I'm going to turn my page. I'm just going to make them as best I can. Right here. Okay. Gotta keep checking to make sure I'm... Oh. Well, it is what it is. Just go every other one. I lost track of what I was doing. Okay then. That one should have been here instead of here. So we'll just continue on doing it this way. So this one is here. Right? Skip one, do one here. Skip one, do one here. Skip one, do one here. Okay. Then over here, I wanted to match these. So this should be in this corner. And then this one, and this one. That one, that one, that one, and that one. And then this one is where I goofed. So I want to make it match this. I didn't goof. I thought I goofed, but I didn't goof. Okay then. You're just a big goof, Dawn. What I thought was a mistake wasn't a mistake. That's what happens when you get a complex pattern like this, is that you just have some issues. Yeah, you just have issues. Keeping track of what goes where. Okay, so let me zoom out again. Oops, wrong way. You see the whole thing. See how complex that one's really getting? The pattern itself, the basic steps are not that hard, but it is getting complex. Okay, so last step is the triangle that does not have the swirly. Can you guys see that? The one that does not have the swirly gets a bar going that way. And that's either on that variation or this variation here. So let me zoom back in. Move things around. Okay, so it gets a bar going this way. Like that. Something in that fashion. Move over. Something like that is the order of the day. Okay, so then just keep going. Oops, I'm off the screen. Okay, let's see. And then the ones going the other way, same thing. The bar goes across. They just go the other ways. Just have to keep track of where you guys are in the screen. There we go. Okay, so you can see that. Yeah, this was more complex than I thought it would be when I started. I can understand why the sample looks the way it does. Really, the only way to make it look not so complex is to just start with super big squares. Okay, I think I'm done. Let me zoom out. Oop. Wrong direction. You almost can't tell. This side here is the side that has them with the petal to the middle. And this side here is the ones that have them with the petal. Oh, for goodness sakes. Comes out the same. Even though I drew this one, goodness sakes. Okay. That's bizarre. Okay, even though I drew this row here, I'm gonna isolate it right here. I drew that square with, let me zoom in. I drew this square with the petals on the outside and the swirlies on the inside. If I move over one little square diagonally, like that, I end up with the square with the petals in the middle and the things on the outside. So it's the same. I did all of that and it comes out the same. Ah! Oh well, whatever. So now you know that if you're going to do it in a grid and not just a freestanding, if it was just a freestanding square, they would look different. But if you're going to do it in a grid, the grid ends up looking the same. It just does. It ends up looking the same. I don't think this one is going to need any shading because it's complicated enough. So I'm just going to sign it and name it and be done with my day. It doesn't matter which way I turn it because it's the same. No matter what I do, it's the same. So the only part that's actually not the same is right here in the middle where I changed over patterns. But this pattern and that pattern are the same. They're just offset a little. Yeah, so it doesn't make any difference. Give it a sign. K-A-T-H-Y. Kathy is the name of the pattern by Leila Holter. And there we go. That's it. Let me know if you try it. It's a little more complex than I thought it was going to end up being.